This is part 3 and the final video of the Herbal Chat series between me and my friend Cassandra from Becoming a Farm Girl. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, I'll link the playlist in the description box below. Also, as a reminder, Cassandra's channel is also linked in the description box below as well. In this video, we're talking about how you can get started in your herbalism journey today. We hope that you find it very attainable for you to get started with ease and less stress. Pull up a chair, grab your drink, and enjoy the conversation. Or if you're busy, pop us in your ear and listen as you do your work.
I know a lot of people want to get into herbs. I've done a poll on my YouTube channel. People are like, I want to, but I'm hesitant. I'm overwhelmed. And we
Yeah.
that same exact way. I
Yeah.
think one thing that I admire about you is that, and you much more than I have, you have just been like, I'm doing it, Celeste. I'm like, you go, and you do like you
Yeah.
literally you don't think about it too like you because I have a tendency to overthink, and I think we both are kind of like that. We overthink a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you let your excitement lead. And
Hmm.
I love that because it's like you just get up and do. Okay. And so like people who are overwhelmed and find themselves a little stuck and just like, I don't know where to start. What would you say to them, and where would you want them to start at?
I think that I think it's two things. I think one, so if you look behind me now, I started off with probably about maybe 15 to 20 herbs altogether. So some were just like regular teas that I had. Because I know that we've probably all seen them on YouTube, the huge big apothecaries and everything else, but I also was worried about, buying too much. So I would say just start with a handful of herbs. Maybe it's, five, less than 10 that address maybe two different things that are of personal concerns to you. So for a lot of people, that centers around like stress, and then like energy or maybe like regulating hormones. And just get focused on a handful of those herbs and develop some type of tea routine or practice. So the first thing to do is, I know that you and I did this. I was like, Celeste, we already have these herbs. If it is not something that we are already tincturing or, making an infused oil, we've got to do that now because the time's going to pass and we're going to wish that we had this. This is earlier this spring, like in the fall.
Yeah.
So I would say like make sure that like you're at least kind of doing that. Also develop a daily tea drinking habit or routine. I know that sometimes even if you have an assembled apothecary, it looks pretty, but you're not using it, and that doesn't do you any good. So, guilty because things in jars, just whether it's food or herbs, I just love. Um, yeah. And then I think it's also for me, it was two things that really kind of made my herbal journey fun. Was I just got on Eventbrite and I started attending herbal walks with folks that were like right here in, my state or, my town even. And what that does is it will immediately put you in touch with other kind of herb lovers as well. So you find your tribe so that, as we were saying earlier, you're not doing this, alone. And two, I would not have been foraging. I mean, now I do it kind of by myself, but I wouldn't have done that without the guidance already of someone who was knowledgeable about those things. And so, one, I had at least one spot, again, that's in my bioregion that I could go to for a couple of herbal plants. It built my confidence around that. And I've actually probably gone to what, four of them maybe or so. It
Yeah.
feels like, yeah.
It's a,
Um, and
yeah.
those are really fun. They're in my area. And then it's not just growing there, right? It's going to be in other places. And I'll be like, "So this. Um, and so I think that's really fun. And I think just getting outside and just using the simple app, picture this as one. I think your phone, just Google even has a free one that you can use. Just taking pictures of plants to be like, what do I already have around me?
Yeah.
And that is awesome. That can lead you back to, some of the books that you may already have or you want to check out at a library. But yeah, use what you have in terms of tincturing it, making your own oils, develop some type of a tea routine with your hot teas and infusions. Go on herb walks so that you find other herb friends and understand your bioregion. And remember that it's an herbal journey and it's yours and you're in no rush. There's not any like real pressure right now, right? We're building up knowledge over time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think sometimes it's like when you think about herbalists, I mean, it is a practice. So that is the number one thing. It is a practice that's just been in place for years and decades at a time. So I think it's really just thinking about what does my daily kind of herbal routine look like? Sometimes I get a chance to read, right? That might be maybe 2 times a week on a good week kind of thing. But other times, like a consistent herbal routine is taking my tinctures, making something, with them, listening. I do a lot of listening to like, YouTube videos too. Sometimes that's just more convenient. But don't feel like you have to know it all at once.
Yeah. Because we have our whole lives to learn, right?
For sure. Absolutely.
We're talking about books. You mentioned books, and I have two here. I have another one that I don't know where I put it. Hopefully it's not on top of the apothecary. It's not. That's nothing but gardening. But I know we both have the Modern Herbal Dispensatory.
Yes, we do. How are you liking that one?
I've only gotten to the intro. I think it was a chapter, and so far I've highlighted a few things.
Okay.
Um, like just for no matter what political party is in power, no matter what is deemed legal versus illegal, not even the FDA in all of its regulatory glory can prevent someone from stepping out of their door and using nature's free medicine.
Absolutely.
The end of the first paragraph. Nearly 2 million people file bankruptcy every year because of medical bills. Isn't
Mhm.
that crazy? It's just so expensive.
Exactly. Yeah. The thing is, it's crazy, but like that to be true. Like that's the craziest part. I think when I was researching some things for my apothecary video, that's actually where most consumer debt is from. It is medical care, and I think then after that, it's college, and then your housing. But medical care,
That's
and for a lot of times we're talking about like acute conditions, that are largely preventable, right? That's just not right. That's not right when we're surrounded by, all of these medicines.
Yeah, for sure. And it's something that, we talked about before is like the best medicine, the best treatment is preventative ones.
Right.
You can do something now that can change your tomorrow, do it, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
some things you can do like teas a little bit more. I mean, you can drink it like immediately. You won't necessarily feel the benefits right away, not for all of them,
Right.
but you can drink it today, right?
Right.
And then continue to drink it, like you were saying, develop a tea regimen. The infusions they take a day to or sometimes 4 hours, right? The red raspberry leaf, but
Yeah.
they take a little bit more time. But do something today that can give you a better tomorrow, and you can start fighting whatever diseases now. We're not claiming anything or whatever else, but we can fortify our bodies and our immune systems. Like we know we're coming up into flu season, right? Get your tinctures started or start taking your tea regimens, your infusions, and which one's good for that one? Was it the yarrow? I think yarrow helps with flu
Yeah.
congestion.
Yarrow, echinacea. I have a fire cider that's already going,
Yeah.
which is apple cider vinegar extraction of like horseradish and ginger and
Um,
lemon and lots of herbs, rosemary, that kind of thing. So yeah, you're right. I think that's the thing that you and I always kind of talk about. Like your herbal routine and practice is not will have the benefit sometimes of like, in the next couple of hours or, that day. But really the bang for your buck is the future you, the you at the end of the week, at the end of the month, the you, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Like we are thinking about that person even now.
for sure. And it doesn't take that long to do stuff. You literally put some herbs in a jar and you pour some hot water on it, let it sit for 24 hours and call it a day.
Yes. Yeah. We set up our infusion routine overnight, you know? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like
Okay.
can't wait to get more into it to reap more of the benefits because I do see like you do a lot more than I do. Like I'm into like grains and stuff too. So it's like kind of like, oh, I'm being bombarded.
That's true.
But But it's still inspiring to see you just like, okay, so this is what it is. And I love that you share all this information because I'm soaking it up, and I know that I will recall that God will bring it back to my memory when I'm ready to use it.
Absolutely.
And you do be like, just do it. Like, okay. And so I did a few infusions
Yes.
and tinctures, but that's what I needed.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'm like, did you infuse Celeste? You're like, why can't? I'm like, it's right on your counter.
I wish I had it to show everybody now. I have a 40-ounce cup that has usually my infusions. I don't put anything else besides infusions. Yeah, not usually. There's no water in it. It's the infusions. That's what I drink it from.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is, if you see me drinking it, that's most likely nettle or red clover. Those are the two that, and I'm waiting for my oat straw to come in.
You're gonna love that one. She's so like moist and hydrating and light. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Just I
waiting.
love her.
Yeah, because you said it was really close to a red clover, right? No.
Yeah, well, I've been on the drier side of like, herbal infusions. Like nettle is really drying, but really like energizing. But yeah, red clover is more moist.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you'll like the oat tops.
Okay. Well, once I get that in, I can't wait to implement that. I
Mhm.
know you have your green stalks. You have one that's dedicated to specific herbs. Like we talk a lot about culinary herbs, but you have other things.
I do. Yeah, I'm growing rosemary, parsley, lemongrass, echinacea, thyme, lemon balm, stevia. Um, Goodness, that's just on like the one side that I can see here right now. But a lot of those are cut and come again herbs, chamomile,
Mm.
that's out there. And once you buy them, like once, they'll come back every single spring for years. So it's not like this continual investment. And I think that that's also an awesome thing. Like, yes, there are some herbs that I have that I needed to buy, but there were others once I realized they were cut and come again. Why not get a green stalk vertical planter, have multiple kind of growing locations for them, and then I'm very proactive about like cutting them down because they're going to grow right back. And then I'll use some type of preservation method, either using my dehydrator or now my freeze dryer, and build my own supplies that I know that I can rely on, both like in the moment fresh and come this fall and winter. So having some type of way to preserve herbs that you're growing is awesome. They're fresh. I know when they were harvested. We talk about sometimes about like what companies do we want to kind of go with, kind of favoring like more of like your small batch herb farmers. But yeah, and it's just so much more empowering, right? You're growing tons of herbs too,
I
and
know
you've got like all of yours from seed.
most of them. Most of them.
Most of it, yes.
Ones I bought fried up. The ones I've grown for seed is still
It was
this.
crazy hot this summer. It was just, this is not the year. This has been one of the worst gardening years in the past 5 years.
Yeah, it has been. It had girl. My garden. You saw my squashes. They struggle bus. They done died.
You always have beautiful squashes. I remember thinking like that can't be your garden.
I know.
Squash always looks gorgeous.
Thank you. I was gonna say something. I totally forgot. Hold on. I got 2 minutes to think about it. For those who have not been to your channel, I will definitely link it in the description box so they can see your beautiful garden, your green star gardens. Those are really actually pretty practical too. So they'll get more inspiration from you for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you for not having me. Thank you for being on here and just chatting with my audience about herbs and expanding your knowledge and just sharing your knowledge really with us.
Of course, Celeste. Anything for you, girl.
All right, girl. Well, I will talk to you later.
All right. Bye, girl.
I'll talk to you on the phone. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. I'll call you after this.
There you go.
All
All
right.
right. Bye.
All right, you guys, I hope that this series has blessed you and helped you start with your herbalism journey so it's not so overwhelming and crazy and confusing and you don't feel like you're by yourself. I will have videos in the future talking about my journey in herbalism and the things that I'm tincturing, the things that I'm making into capsules, and the things that I am making into infused oils. So if any of that interests you, definitely subscribe for those future videos. Thank you so much, Cassandra, for having this video with me and sharing your wealth of knowledge with my audience. Check out Cassandra link in the video description and head over there and show her some love as well. All right, I'll talk to you later.